Hello, and here we are, Critical Reflections with your critical friend. And yes, we're live again every Monday, right here at the same time, hoping to inspire and empower you with some of the stories of my guests, whether it be about social impact, social justice, or social mobility, or if there's a real story that needs to be told. It could be about your business, you professionally or even personally. But the whole purpose of this program here, the Toni McLelland Show, is critical reflections to inspire and empower. And thank you for joining me. And I've got a couple of people lined up that are going to be popping in and hopefully contributing really positively to this discussion today, which is about gratitude. So we've got some people that are joining us. We've got Dennis. Hi, Dennis. How are you? Need some magical fairy dust today? Well, I'm sending you lots your way. And we've got Elwanda. Hi there. And we've got Laura. Laura, where are you from? Ohio in USA. And I've got Batisha as well. So if you are watching, then do just pop a little note in there and tell me where you're calling from or where you're watching in from. We've got Christopher from the Metropolitan Detroit. So thank you so much for joining me here. So normally I would have Mike Vacanti here, and I think I put in the post that he's going to be joining me. Unfortunately, he's not able to today. However, he sends his gratitude to you all, and hopefully we'll see him again next week or very, very soon. Anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to kind of open it out and just really think about gratitude. And I've got a couple of, 2 or 3 guests that are going to be sharing their thoughts around that. So let's bring them in one at a time. So I've got Melody Belivu. Hi, Melody.
Hello.
What I've actually done here is those people that register for the event, or if I see that somebody is really committed on a regular basis, and I always see them in the audience, I just thought, let me take this opportunity to bring them this side just for a few minutes and, share that experience of being live as well. So we've got Adefunke Larigo. Hi, Adefunke. Thank you for joining us. And, I know that all these people are doing some fabulous things, and I'm going to tell you about some of these fabulous things that they're doing in a short moment. And we've got the wonderful and delightful Leslie Flowers. So, got a full house today, everyone. So it's going to be another action-packed 30 minutes. So Melody, I know that you're doing some fabulous things around veterans, supporting veterans. Just keep going with that. Adefunke, I know that you're doing some marvelous things around diversity for young people in the foster care setting and working with panels. So do get in touch with these wonderful ladies if they can help you with anything around veterans, or Adefunke with diversity in foster caring. And we've got Leslie, who I know has just launched her Zone of Genius. So at some point we'll have her back here and stealing the show, giving us lots of information about that. But today, let's talk about gratitude and what that actually means. For me, it's about being thankful for an experience, a positive experience that's happened to you that was maybe as a result of somebody else doing something and you recognizing that. So that's how I would kind of phrase it very simplistically. But it's also for me attached to a positive emotion, and therefore, there's lots of positives around well-being as well. So I don't know if anyone wants to kind of elaborate just for a moment on that, but then I'm going to ask you to share. And I've got a few questions I want to ask you. And if you're watching back live, watching live now, then maybe you can join in too. So Melody, Adafunke, or Leslie, did you want to say something briefly about gratitude?
I would love to. It changed my perspective on life when I started making a morning routine where I wake up and before my feet hit the floor, I thank God for a new day. Because one thing the pandemic did show us, all of us, was that tomorrow's never promised. So I thank him for the gift of a new day. And then I ask him three things. What do you want me to see today? What do you want me to hear today? And how can I serve? And that puts that gratitude through my entire day because I'm watching for those synchronicities. I'm watching for those things he wants me to see and wants me to hear. And even when they're not what you'd consider positive experiences, even the ones that are challenging, there's something in it. There's a light in it that can help other people. So I'm watching for that constantly. And when he's showing me, regardless of what he's showing me, all through the day, I'm attached to him that way. And the gratitude is there because even if it's a really powerful challenge, he's giving me the honor to say, I want you to see inside this. I want you to share what you can help other people
and
with.
learn from it as well. So that's a real great, and maybe towards the end, Melody, you can share those three things, with some people that are watching, and we'll watch it on the replay later on. So I'm just really conscious of time, so I'm going to move it over quickly to Adafunke. Thank you, Adafunke.
Yes, Melody, sorry to mispronounce your name. Yes, I absolutely agree with you. I feel that as what in line with what Tony said, yes, he's being grateful for a particular thing, but also I feel it's an attitude that we develop as part of our life. And always looking for something to be grateful for. So like you, I have a routine. Mine is at the end of the day, I always sort of write down a journal of things that I'm grateful for. And equally in the morning, I'm also thankful that I've gone to bed and I've woken up. I have another, I have another life and I have another day to be alive. So I want to do as much as I can in that day and always finding the thing to be grateful for. Even if the day goes horribly wrong, there's always something there to learn and that I can use to change my life or other people's lives. So yeah.
Wow. I think I've kind of chosen a panel of experts here. This is just brilliant stuff, and I might actually reserve my own contributions here and do this topic again another time, and just give you all the stage because you are all so deserving. And before we come over to the lovely Leslie, I'm just gonna say hi to Shelley, who's saying thank you, Melody. We've got Dennis Patoko, always grateful for you. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Carl John, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be who I am. And we are so grateful to you as well, because I'm one of the co-hosts on Dennis's bench. It's our friendship bench. And we are so grateful for you and everything that you do there. And we've also got Laura Gray here, who's saying gratitude for the bumps in my life that continue to shape and strengthen me. Thank you so much. And we've also got, I just want to say hi to Denise from Houston, as well as Mohit, who has joined us as well. So I hope I'm just kind of capturing everybody. And yes, thank you for those contributions. So over to you, Leslie. Can't hear you at the moment. And every word needs to be heard. Okay, so we'll come back to Leslie when we can hear, when we can hear her. So, in the meantime, has anybody got anything particular that they practice in the mornings or at the end of the day? We've got Melody that starts off with gratitude in the morning. We've got Adafunky who practices hers at the end of the day. So really,
Better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, every time I get on here, I have to adjust a setting. I guess I ought to do it first. This is new. Anyway, Toni, I knew today that I was going to have to do this. And when you invited me, I knew I could put hair and makeup in 5 minutes, which I did. So that's because I knew somehow it was going to happen. So gratitude. Grateful to you for inviting me and for me knowing in advance that you were going to do
Yeah, how did you know that? Because you're sitting in your zone of genius, are you?
Absolutely. And one of the elements in the zone of genius is the extreme strength of intuition.
Okay.
You're right. But as far as faith goes, faith is the only known antidote to fear. And faith and gratitude have the same high vibration. So if you're always faithful and you're focusing on something to be grateful for, then you're always going to feel really good and you will bring that into your life, right? So it's in the zone of genius. It's really about how soon, as the other ladies said, how soon do you realize that there is a lesson inside an interrupt? Does it take you a day, a week, a year, or can you do it in seconds? And really, that is when you get caught in a challenge, the operating in the zone means that you waste almost no time. In victim mode, you instantly, as Melody said, you're looking for the other side of it. You always have to look up. So, yeah, I guess that's what I would say. It's the only antidote to fear, and that is where you want to operate. And I love what they both said, and they're shaking their heads, yes. So, I got a little interrupted with the microphone and the commercials, so I'll get back on focus now.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. That's a brilliant contribution there, Leslie. And what it's making me also think about is, are we always in it or are we looking for it? Do you see what I mean?
We're causing it. We're the source of it.
So this is what I'm saying, because for me, I don't feel that I'm looking for it. I feel like I'm in it. I'm feeling it all of the time. Yeah. And this is where I'm going to link it in with wellness and that positive feeling, because if I live in it and feel it and experience it as a part of me, then it comes naturally and I'm sitting in it. So that's how I'm not necessarily looking for it all of the time, because for me personally, there feels like there's something a little bit unnatural about that.
Toni, I probably should have said, I could have said it another way, because you make a brilliant point. Be aware when it shows up as to what it is.
Or should we say, be ready?
There you go. Better. That's better. You got it.
Be ready. That I couldn't have done it without you, Leslie. But we're working together in tandem, aren't we? Yes. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's contributing. So Shelley said thank you, Melody. Again for those, and Mohit said thank you for those amazing thoughts. So one of the things that I'm just going to share very briefly is the fact that I'm always appreciative of and showing gratitude for the moment, because I think sometimes what happens is that we're always running from one moment to the other, planning the next moment, and we're in this moment. So for me, what I try to do, especially at least once a day, is appreciate the moment that I'm in and not think about the next moment. And then, when I'm in that next moment, appreciate that moment. And when I do that, time just passes me by. Because I'm not rushing to think about the next moment. I'm sitting in, appreciating, wallowing, comfortable, got my feet up and everything in this particular moment. So time can just pass me by. And, you know, I practice it as a moment of stillness as well. So the TV's off, no music, no one's around. And I don't even have to have something that I'm thinking through or thinking about. It's just about being still. And there are times where I might be listening to music or watching the TV, and that moment comes over me. And I feel like I've got to put that on pause. I've just got to stop.
Well, because you're living in it. So you said you're living in it. So you're in presence in that moment, and you're in presence at the highest vibration. So if you're living in gratitude and you're in the highest vibration, which is love, then stopping, you know, the power of the pause, you're present. It's like being on a boat, isn't it? Like you have to be present. That's what I'm getting from you.
Absolutely. And the other piece that I want to add to this at this moment is about the fact that when I practice gratitude, I really try to focus in on the things that I don't want to take for granted, the small things that can so easily be overlooked, you know?
Yeah.
And so I really try to think about, you know, what are these things that I've missed? We always do the big things, you know, thank you so much for this or thank you so much for that. But actually, it's all the little things that come together. And, you know, and the example that I'd probably, well, not detailed example, but my husband is a great example to use as a person that when I think about all these small things, when I think about all these small things that he does on a daily basis that benefit me, that you could quite easily just pass on by. But actually, I have to acknowledge and say to him, do you know what? I really appreciate you. And thank you, because I know that you've done these little things. And, you know, normally when I'm speaking to him, I just follow it up with saying something like, I don't know what I would do without you, which usually goes down well. So, but I'm going to bring you all back in now because I'm going to play a little game. And I just want to say hello to Adama and who else? Anyone else got anything that they want to contribute around gratitude?
Just as you were speaking, Toni, the word savoring came to mind when you were talking about being still and in the moment and enjoying it, and you can kind of get lost in it. It was just about savoring the moment and not just letting it, you know, because as you say, we can quickly move off. Yeah, we're happy, we're great, you've received the thing and on to the next thing.
Right.
But actually savoring it and just kind of really enjoying that moment is just the word that came to me as you were speaking.
And sometimes not even acknowledging it. Sometimes we just kind of take it for granted that it's what's expected. Like, you know, when staff come into work, they're paid to come into work. So it's like we take it for granted that they're just going to be there. And it's like, well, actually, why not appreciate them? Why not acknowledge them and just say thank you? Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your loyalty to the company. But anyway, we've got Minku here who says she loves it. And we love you as well, Minku, because you've always got valuable contributions. Anyway,
I've got two quick things before we leave, because I think that they're important to note. You've touched on two universal laws. So before we get away from this,
we're not getting away from it, but
or wherever you're headed. So the two laws that you brought up here, and these are of the 7 universal laws, is one, the law of polarity, which is the law of opposites. So that's looking for the opposite of the negative and looking for the gift. The other thing you just brought up, Toni, which was just brilliant with your husband, it's a perfect example of the law of relativity. We put value on different things, and nothing has a value until we compare it to something. So it really isn't little. It might be little for me, but for you, it's immense. Those are the two laws.
And also the reason why I brought up my husband as an example is because in that space of gratitude, I also, and complacency, I also have to make sure that I don't become lazy. You'll see, because it's all linked together. So gratitude and making sure that I'm still able to do these things independently for me and that I'm not reliant, because that can come into this space of gratitude as well. Anyway, just thought I'd add that in because it's just a part of my thinking, and Minku's contribute to that as well. Gratitude has to be given across the board for good and not so experiences, but that's the ultimate responsibility of acknowledgement. Thank you so much. Right, okay, ladies, now I'm just going to ask you for brief responses because I want to go through some of these cards. I want you to think about and give gratitude to and share with those that are listening and others here something that made you smile recently. Just share it briefly, don't overthink it, and just think about how you're going to give gratitude for that. And I'm going to encourage those people that are watching and listening today to do the same thing. So, Melody, do you have something you want to share very briefly, quickly?
I didn't even have to think about it. It's you. It's being here with you, because you share so much compassion and so much love with the world around you, including your example to your husband, that when you do that, when you express that, those things reflect in other people's minds, and you give them that as well. So your husband thinks about those expressions of your gratitude, and it makes him feel good, and it lights his light up. So yeah, you are definitely the first thing that popped in my head.
Oh, I'm so touched. Thank you so much. Can I just say, just for those people that are watching or who may what we watch, I didn't set this up. This is not a setup. These people were not bribed to be here. They came voluntarily upon invitation. So thank you so much, Melody. And I really appreciate you. And that's the reason why you are here right now. So, Funky, over to you. Something briefly that made you smile.
Yes, so I went for a picnic yesterday with some friends and my children, and yeah, we just loved hanging out, and it was great. The weather was amazing. It's just a simple thing, but it was really good just be out in the fresh air.
But sometimes it is those simple things. So maybe think about how you can give gratitude for that thing that made you smile.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can tell you as well that when I thought about asking this question, I thought about the fact that I'm always smiling, and if someone else is smiling, and even sometimes if I'm watching a program or a movie or something, if that person is smiling, then I catch myself smiling too, automatically. So, mine's very simple, but over to you, Leslie. Something that made you smile.
I already told you. It was at 8:25 when you invited me to hop on the show, and I knew it. And so I was able to put on all my makeup in 5 minutes. That made me smile.
Okay, good.
Because I knew it in advance. I said, she's going to call me today. What I said was, I wish she would call me today.
And I heard you.
That's really what I said. Oh, I would love to be on the show today. And then
I heard
5 minutes. So there you go.
Right. It's all right. We're aligned.
Yes.
So there you go. So think about what made you smile. Do share with us. And we'd love to hear. My mother-in-law threw a fit 2 hours ago, and I was grateful for my patience, for my attitude in the way I handled her with calm. I smiled to myself. Please, we're sending thoughts and healing vibes your way, Minku, and thank you so much for sharing that. And I think it's also gratitude for the fact that you're in a position to be able to offer that support and help too. Okay. So I'm just picking which question I'm going to ask you. This is so exciting because I'm smiling. You don't even know what I'm smiling at. So, think about a friend. Think about a friend that comes to mind when you think of gratitude? Maybe they've done something for you years ago, maybe recently, but it filled you with joy and you wanted to appreciate. It doesn't have to be a friend, it could just be a person. Anyone ready to share?
Yeah.
Go for it, Adefonke.
So last weekend, I keep talking about my friends a lot. There's one of my girlfriends who've been trying to meet up for a little while, but we managed to do it last weekend. She came over with her son, and I had time with her to just have girly time. Her son and my son get on really well, so they had their time, and it was just really great to just really spend time talking about what's gone on over the past year and just catching up. So that was amazing, and I was so filled with joy that we were able to have that moment together.
And I want to ask you, did you share that with your friend?
Absolutely. I shared it while she was here. I said it several times. I have since messaged her to say
Oh no, that's good.
again that I just really, when someone leaves and they just leave you smiling even more than before. that's
Well,
that's
it sounds to me like you need to do it again and again and again and again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank you so much. So Melody, let's come to you. Melody, do you have something about a friend or a particular person?
I'd actually like to make it about my grandkids because I'm here at my daughter's house taking care of two of my grandkids. And we have spent some amazing time together while I've been here, playing games, watching movies, Narnia, one of them, and cooking together. And it's just, I love it. And I let them know how much I love spending the time with them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Thank you, Melody. So Leslie, you're giving me side eye looks. What you think? What are you thinking?
Well, what's the question? Ask me the question again.
Yeah, the question is about do you have a friend or a particular person that done something for you and you're really grateful and appreciative.
Yes, my neighbor. She is about the age of my daughter. And over the last couple of years since I've lived here, we've become very close. And she is moving 4 hours away. So when she comes back to get her house ready, we have our Sunday morning coffees. She brings her dogs, and she always gives me things like a daughter, right? So I have a daughter and I have a son, and they're wonderful, but she's like another daughter. And so it's bittersweet that she's leaving. But yesterday she was here, and her husband made coffee, cake, and biscuits, and we did our Sunday morning routine, which we done for 2 years, which is going away very soon. So I'd let her know all the time how grateful I am, how much I miss her already, and she misses me. So thank you for reminding me about that.
That's great, thank you. And maybe today's a good opportunity. Gosh, I've got all quiet and reflective, getting all emotional. As you're all sharing your stories, I'm getting, a bit wobbly. So I was just going to say, Leslie, that maybe it'll be good to just kind of reach out to that person and just say, and you as well, Melody, to just, say to your grandchildren, that you really appreciate them or whatever it is. So we've got Minku saying, I hear you, Sister Leslie, and we've got El Wonder that's saying you're in my heart space, Melody, and we've got Ashwarya, a new resident's child, shared her birthday chocolate in our apartment, which made me smile, grateful of sharing her innocent, special moment. Ah, that's beautiful. And let her know how much you appreciated that. Waking up this morning, overcoming all obstacles to be here today. Do you know what, ladies? Oh, the time's running out on us. Can you believe that we've done 30 minutes already? Anyway, I'm going to push it out. So, you know, if you can just bear with for another few minutes, and that would be great. I am going to ask if, you know, this is about compliments. You know, how do you, you know, how do you feel about compliments? Because if I see somebody and they look good or something is great, then I have to tell them. By the way, Melody, I do like your hair. It looks really great, actually. And I know, Ella Funky, that you got your yellow and blue, which is your colours.
I love it.
And I wanted to say that as soon as you came on, they're your colours. And Leslie, you know, I could never get over those glasses. They are just so, no, honestly, they are just so you, because inside I know that you're a diva. So, yes, you are. But in terms of compliments, it's like, is there someone that you think that after we finished here today that you can go and compliment and really just show some gratitude in the way that you compliment them? Feel free if you want to share. If it's a secret, then you can keep it as a secret. But you know,
No,
I like to do that wherever I am. I will, even if I'm in a store and I see a woman who is wearing a great outfit and she looks so all put together, her jewelry and everything, even if she's a stranger, I will still embrace my weirdness and I will go up to her and go, I love that outfit. It looks so great on you. And, you know, people remember that stuff. That lights people up. So I love giving compliments as long as they're sincere. They're meant to be shared.
Yeah, it is. And Leslie, you were going to come in and say something there, weren't you?
No, for once I wasn't.
I was going to say something.
Because I was talking to somebody recently on the phone, and they were helping me with something. And I actually said to them after a few minutes, you know, thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Thank you so much for sorting this out. You know, really appreciate it and everything. And the person that was with me said, why are you thanking them and that they haven't done anything yet? And I said, but it might encourage them along, actually.
And when you thank that person, it raises your vibration.
And what happens is that when I used to work with young people and offenders, I used to find that by complimenting them and thanking them in advance, encourages the action.
Yeah.
So when people are getting ready to pay me, I say thanking you in advance.
Yeah.
And the money comes easier.
I'm stealing that one.
I like that one.
Here is my invoice thanking you in advance. Anyway, sorry, we're getting too distracted here. It's all of you. You're a bad influence on me, right? So,
Tony, can I come in there? I just wanted to say something. When Melody was talking about seeing somebody who looks great, I have a thing about colors. I mean, for example, look at my nails. I have every color for each nail because I just can't get enough. There's just something about how it helps me to express how I'm feeling, and I appreciate it on other people, particularly if I see that they have the hair has a color. You know, it often stands out to me, and I would often tell them. And most of the time, it's people just walking by. I don't know them, but I feel the need to not let the moment pass because actually, maybe nobody's told them today that their hair looks great or that the color is nice or whatever. So I think, right, you know, take the opportunity to share that and let them know that actually it looks amazing on them.
Absolutely. And sometimes we see that on LinkedIn as well, on this very platform, don't we? You know, somebody's doing something great and you just go on and say congratulations or well done, well deserved or something. There's a person called Michael. He's got some fabulous men's suits, you know, and I love seeing them, you know, because I picture my husband in them and I say, yeah, that's great. And I love that one. And then I look at the stream of comments and I realize that I'm the only female in there. What am I doing in there? But it hasn't deterred me at all. You know, if I see something good, I'm going to tell you. So anyway, so Leslie, Have you all contributed to this compliment piece?
No, I haven't, but I do this and do the same thing. We're all playing in the same sandbox. That's what you've done. You've invited 3 women into the same sandbox you're in terms of being heart-centered, in terms of being aware, in terms of being curious, inquisitive, grateful, right? Looking at the glass half full all the time. And if you don't, instantly. So that's what you've done today. And thanks, ladies. It's been fun playing, and there'll be no sand under our nails or in our behinds, right? Like at the beach.
And I know that I just said I'm going to keep you just for a few minutes, and I want to honour that as well. But do you know what? It has been so much fun, and I think, ladies, we should do this again. But let's get these last pieces in from people that have joined us here. Compliments are welcoming. I appreciate your friend Denise. I always let her know that I cannot get through my current situation without her. I truly appreciate her and love. And, your friend Denise, do let her know. Let her know, because sometimes we think about these things, but actually, I have I don't know if you realise, but I like singing. And, that was a little joke there.
You like what? I didn't quite get it.
I'm not going to burst into song, by the way, but
oh, that's right.
But one of the things that I do very frequently is I call up friends, especially if I haven't heard from them for a little while, or and I might just pick up the phone and sing to them a poignant song. It might be, I just call to say I love you. I just call to say I care. I'm not, and just sing that. They join in, and then we hang up the phone. They've come to do that. We don't exchange any other discussion about anything. But for me, it's just a way of connecting and saying to them, I really appreciate you. Please forgive my terrible singing, but I appreciate you. And you're on my mind, and I wanted to reach out. That's really what that is all about. And, I do that very frequently. And, and I sing to my husband and everything as well. That's the way that I show gratitude some of the time. Anyway, so let's hear what others have got to say. Minku, love your loops, Tony. And there's thank you so much. Well, we were talking about compliments, weren't we? So thank you so much. Appreciate you, Minku. And this is the way we should love each other. They are how we safely connect. Thank you so much, Dr. Elwanda. Really appreciate all of your contributions. Sincere compliments are meaningful. And let's start thinking about how we can do that in the workplace. How are we going to do that in the workplace with the people that we're working with, the teams? Are we encouraging them along? Are we, noticing something? When I've got a client, I try to just remember little pieces, little bits of detail about someone. How's your cat doing? How's your dog doing? How's your gran? Something.
Yeah.
Let's try and make an effort to really connect with people, and that's so expressive in nature, Tony. Thank you. And singing is great. Yes, I know, and I do it all the time. Anyway, so let's just share one thing that you want people to do when we wrap up here now in terms of gratitude, Melody. Just one thing as we draw to a close, and thank everyone for participating over the last 40 minutes. Melody.
I will just say Peter Clark's words, just be kind out there.
Yeah, just be kind out there. And thank you. Thank you. And the funky.
I would say, before you go to sleep, think of the things that have happened in your day and show gratitude for those things. That's what I'd like to add.
So much. Thank you. Leslie?
Next time you're in a drive-through or in a grocery store, and particularly in the grocery store, the person in front of you doesn't have a lot or works with your money, pay for theirs, or the people behind you. I do that a lot at drive-throughs, and they're so delighted, but I always ask, what did they order behind me? So that really shows you my nature. But if it's reasonable, and I've gone up to, quite a bit, I'll say, go ahead and cover theirs. Right.
Yeah.
And then they get up to the window, and then they may do that to somebody else. So if you could do that once, cover someone else's coffee or a soda that they pick up in the store, I bet you can.
And I'm just going to kind of capture that by saying, pay it forwards and pay it backwards and pay it all the way around.
Yes.
I'm not going to add anything more on that. I've got all these wonderful quotes and speeches that I could finish this off with, but I'm going to leave it down to you three fabulous stars who've taken over my show today.
I tried to be restrained. I'm usually first, but I let everybody else talk first when we start. That's really hard.
You all outshone me today, but you are most welcome, and I want to give gratitude to all three of you for your contributions. And Minku, Dr. L. Wonder, Ariwara, Shelley, who else have we got? Who else? We've got B. Who else? We've got Adama, Mohit, Dennis, Laura. Thank you so much, Denise from Houston there. Kate Lambley from Salisbury. I missed Kate. I didn't even see you there. So thank you. And Dennis from Southampton, Tampa Bay. Christopher from Metropolitan Detroit. Yeah, we had quite a few joining us today. And I just want to ask you to go and give somebody a compliment today, and or pick up the phone to someone and let them know that you really, really appreciate them. And on that note, I'm just going to say, just give gratitude and appreciate, and try to appreciate the moment too. And on that note, I shall see you next week, same time. Check out my audio rooms, and thank you, ladies. Bye. Thank you for spending time with me and my guest today on Critical Reflections with Your Critical Friend. Today, you got just a very, very small sprinkling of Toni's fairy dust. But if you'd like more, then do reach out. For speaking or hosting, it's ToniMcLelland.com. For social impact, social justice, or social mobility, check out our work at firstlifegroup.com. I look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, feel encouraged, be inspired, be empowered, and make a difference. Bye for now.